On today's show,
I'll be your driver.
this is K-Rockcast, the podcast where music and perspectives collide.
I'm Anne, a music lover who's the ultimate fan.
And I'm Kelly, a professional musician. Join us as we dive into the world of the Rose and other Korean and Asian rock bands.
Sometimes we'll agree, sometimes we'll wildly disagree, but what's guaranteed is a passionate, hilarious, and unfiltered conversation about the music that unites us and the bands that inspire us. Hi everybody, we're back. This is kind of a quick episode, Kelly, that we put together into the taxi because out of nowhere, we got a new song dropped by Woosung for a Korean drama, Mobam Taxi Sam, which is Taxi Driver, the third series. So exciting. I think nobody was expecting new music from Woosung or The Rose. So this has been just this flurry of excitement from everybody. So I think we felt like we had to do an episode. I know you love songs from OSTs.
I do.
You love just OSTs in general.
Yeah.
So we definitely are going to do more episodes because The Rose and Woosung have done more OST songs. We're just focusing this one, listeners and viewers, on Driver, which is the song from the Taxi Driver series. Kind of excited to talk about this song. I think we were laughing. We may have a difference of opinion, which we say that in our little intro, right?
We do.
Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree. I think we sense we might have some differing of opinions on this song, but hopefully, as always, it leads to a very rich discussion. So why don't you kick us off with just the introduction to the drama itself?
Right, so it's a Korean drama and it came out in 2021. So obviously we're now on to the third series, and it was based on the webtoon Do Lux Taxi, which is by Carlos and Lee Jae-jin. And the webtoon itself was inspired by truly heinous crimes that were committed in Korea, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, it's quite dark, it's quite twisted. Yeah, so nice stuff. Anyway, so Taxi Driver is about a secret organization fronted by a taxi company, and they deliver revenge on behalf of victims who have been failed by the justice system. It's not a new idea. Think kind of Punisher. We're in that sort of territory. The series itself stars Lee Jun-ho, Kim Il-sung, and Pyo Yi-jin, and it's got a really good rating on International Movie Database. It's coming in at 8.1. So, I mean, anybody like myself who frequents International Movie Database will know most things tend to sort of lull at about 5. But so to get 8.1 is pretty good going. And it's had exceptionally high ratings in Korea as well.
Yeah. Now, have you seen this one? Have you watched any of the previous seasons?
I started watching the first series and then got bombarded with a load of other stuff that I wanted to watch. So it's on my liked to carry on watching. But yeah, I've got a fair bit to catch up on. It's a good series.
Yeah.
It is good. I mean,
yeah,
if you are
it's great.
If you are into crime stuff and that sort of whole vengeance arc, it is a really good drama to get into. It can get a bit at times, but yeah, generally speaking, yeah, it's done in a very tasteful manner, shall we put it that way.
I used to watch a lot of Korean drama, but I feel like it just kind of had other things come in my life and it just don't have the time. But because of this, I admit, because of Woosung, I'm like, okay, I'm give anything a try. I watched Gentry Chow in the Underworld because of him and loved that series. So I watched the first episode of the third season. I loved it. It's kind of hard to find for me in the United States seasons 1 and 2. I believe I can get them through Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I think
Season
so.
3 I'm watching through Vicky. I think I understand more like of the song now with with actually watching
Yeah.
at least even just the first episode. Like I totally kind of get the connection more of the song.
Yeah.
And I like the lead actor, Lee Ji-hyun. I think he's the same actor from this older drama called Signal.
Yes.
And yeah,
Yeah.
I think he was
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
I loved that drama. It was another crime kind of drama, but he plays his character so well. Um yeah, it's just like in some of the cinematography in it, like just kind of the way it's very like dramatic at times, but like a little bit, I want to say tongue in cheek, but um it's yeah, like some of those scenes are just kind of a little over the top, but I think they are like meant to be like over
Yeah.
the top.
It's kind of got
Um
that weird sort of 70s bad cop
yeah,
feeling to it, that sort of
right.
exploitation movie type thing as well. It's got
Right.
that kind of feel to
Right.
it. Yeah.
Right, which like when we get into kind of the song, just like the way the kind of melody, the driving rock, like electric guitar, like I feel like it just leans itself like so well to the show
Yeah.
itself. I'll go into kind of the breakdown. The writer, the composer, arranger, and writer of the lyrics was all the same individual. I hope I'm saying this correctly because I had not heard of this person before. DRLDMFKR. I'm not sure if you're supposed to pronounce that acronym in some manner, to be honest, but
I have a slight feeling what the acronym might stand for, but I'm not going to say it in polite
I
company.
know, me too. I was like, I
I
feel
think
like I
I
could
know what it is, but
say,
I'm not saying it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah.
I had never heard of this person before. So I did a little research on some of the other songs. Chorus vocals are Woosung and John Ye Chan. Recording engineer Kim Min Hee. Mixing engineer Jong Song Min at Psycho Tension. Mastering engineer Kwon Nam Woo at 821 Sound. We know 821 Sound so well.
We
I
need to
keep
get them
laughing.
on.
I'm
We
like,
should just get them on and be done with it, I
I
think.
think we need to do that,
I
Kelly.
think we
Like
should. It'd
they
make more sense, yeah.
apparently they're like the only mastering
I
place in
think they must
town in
be. Yeah,
Seoul
they
that
must
everybody
be.
goes to.
Yeah.
This song was released on November 21st, 2025. Again, there wasn't a lot that we could find for this songwriter. But some of his other credits are from K-drama
Yeah.
OSTs. So it must be kind of a lot of what they do. Born Again by Hajin from the K-drama Good Woman Busimi. Touchdown by Form 9 from the Korean TV show The Winning Try. So those were other kind of bigger songs that the same individual wrote and produced. You found some of their own work on SoundCloud
Yeah, so
as well.
they have a presence on SoundCloud, which is some of their own work and some of the remix work as well.
Yeah, so this person might be kind of more of an up and coming
Yeah,
writer, songwriter, producer, what have you. Why don't you start with, let's go into kind of the melody analysis. So why don't you kick us off with kind of
yeah.
that breakdown?
It's in G minor. It's 146 beats per minute, but there's a halftime feel to it, and that's to do with the drive of it. So you'll get that feeling. Now, to confuse matters, the time signature is in 3/4 or 6/8. I'm not 100% sure. We'll say it's 3/4, and that's what gives you this groove to it.
Mm.
One of the things I will say about this track is it is bluesy, smoky, sleaze rock from Britain in the 1990s. This
Mm.
smacks so hard of bands like Gun, Skin, Little Angels, all of those type of what I refer to as my gateway drug bands when I was really little. They are. I mean, seriously, I'll admit it. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll freely admit that. It just oozes all of it. And most of that comes from the guitar work that's in it, which sounds to me, it sounds a bit like a Gibson. I think it's possibly an SG, might be a Les Paul, but it's got lots of wah and distortion on there to give it that really thick bottom end that you frequently get with the Gibson. Whereas like when it's like Fenders and Ibanez and stuff like that, they can be a bit more reedy, whereas it's more bottom end and you get that fuller tone. The vocal mix on this is so dry. It's unbelievably dry. So like the main vocal, there's very little process been done to it. There's only a tiny bit. So there's very little reverb, there's very little delay. So like the presence of it is up front. And actually in the mix as well, it's very predominantly central, which is quite unusual because you tend to get, when they'll do a mix with the main vocal, you'll have a higher frequency in the middle and they will pan ever so slightly outwards, so you get like a fan effect with speakers. You normally tend to find this if you sat in the car and you've got like surround sound speakers. But so it kind of hits a little weird, this one. But the thing is, they've done that with the main vocals, and then you've got this chorus vocal which has got shitloads of effects on it, and it's panned like right back. So that's, it's obviously a decision that they've made when they've come to the mixing of it, that's how they want it to fulfill. The harmonies and the backing vocals are very reminiscent of, they've got this Queen thing about them. There is that sort of very heavy blues Queen smoky bar thing about it, which I am a fan of. It's stuff I grew up with. I mean, you'll hear it. Aerosmith are one that love doing that sort of wide panned, sort of over echo chant vocals that you get on this. So, I mean, it's very reminiscent. It's also kind of coming full circle at the moment because obviously you've got people like Youngblood that are bringing back this sort of sleaze rock thing, and he's going to be hitting that very heavily at the moment. Now, this song, I said to you when I first heard it, I was just like, hold on a minute. I was like, there's something in there that's like really reminds me of something. Actually freaked me out a little bit, to the point I was like listening to it and I was like, there's something in this that sounds so goddamn familiar. And I messaged Matt, my drummer, because Matt's got an amazing ear and he can normally pick stuff up straight away and just go, it's that. And of course he did. And he came back and he just went, it's this, Kelly. And then it all made sense as to why it sounded similar to me. So when we write, and a lot of bands write, and in fact a lot of artists write, what they do is they tend to pick sort of like albums that they won't emulate, but they kind of, there's sounds that they want to pick up. There's like, there'll be like a bass sound that they want from a certain album, or there'll be a drum sound or something like that. And there was something about the sound that I was like, there's something in this that's driving me mad and I can't work out what it is. And Matt came back straight away and he went, oh, it's Chipping In, Kelly, off the Cyberpunk 2077 Radio Volume 3, because he just rolled it off his tongue like that, because that's just him. Because that's how
Gotta love Matt.
He's mad. Honestly, he's mad. And he sent me the link and I was just like, and I was thinking to myself, I'm sure we use Cyberpunk 2077 as part of our sort of sound catalogue for when we were doing REP. Now that now makes sense as to why some of the sounds in this sound similar. And it was like, right, okay, that's fine. I'm not losing my mind. That makes sense. But it is, when I say it's reminiscent, I actually sent it to Anne. And what did you think when you heard it, Anne?
I think I wouldn't even say reminiscent. Like, I think literally that guitar riff is only maybe
like
a note
or two different. Yeah.
Yeah, a note or two different. I mean, wow.
Yeah, it was bang. It was bang on the money. And I mean, when he turned around and he just went, it sounds like this, Kelly. And I was like, shit, yeah, you're right. It really, really does sound like this. I mean, like the guitar emulation is exactly the same. Just the way it's produced, panned, everything is so similar to that. However, if you know Cyberpunk 2077, it kind of makes sense. We're in the same sort of, kind of ballpark, shall we say. It also has this sort of weird connection as well to a song by Heavy Young Heathens, which is Being Evil Has a Price, which is a great title, by the way. It's got a similar sound in there as well. And it's also very reminiscent of the Icelandic band Kaleo. It's got a feel of those too. And that is because this is such a defining sound. This is such a, it is Rock 101 is what it is. And that's
Yeah.
why you can go, and it sounds like this, and it sounds like this, and it sounds like this. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting.
I like that I can't remember the term you used a little bit ago of like kind of this like sleaze rock or whatever, but smoky blues, like sleaze rock. I said in my notes, like I feel like this was before I watched the drama, but I feel like I'm walking in, it has this very cinematic feel, and I feel like I'm walking
Yes.
into like a biker bar, and it's just this rocker, like badass feel and vibe, to the song, which then I watched, the drama, and I'm like, okay, this fits like so well
Yeah. Yeah.
into it in terms of the main character,
Yeah.
because in literally the opening scene, it's this whole like slow motion of him walking up, and all the bad guys are there, and then he just like starts fighting them and kicks everybody's ass, like he's
Yeah.
just so badass. So it's perfect. I actually also listened. I thought this is so interesting. Like, one, I was curious what the other two title tracks
Mm.
were like from season 1 and season 2. And I listened to them. So in season 1, the artist is YB, and the title of that song was Silence. Very much the same driving electric guitar.
Yeah. That's very
And a
much a
very
YB thing as well. I will say that is very much a YB thing.
and I felt like a very similar vocal style
Yes.
to how Woosung does his vocals in this song. And then in season 2, the artist is Ha Hyun-woo, and the song is called Fighter. Now, again, that song had a very driving electric guitar, but in that song, the tempo was faster. It was definitely a faster tempoed song. The vocal style in that one actually reminded me of how Hongyi sounds in FT Island. It had like a
Yeah.
total like FT Island kind of sound. So it wasn't really similar to the vocal style of Woosung or YB in Silence, but I just thought it was interesting. So obviously, I think this writer, he kind of stuck to me what is the formula
He did.
of what title tracks
Yes.
are for this series,
Yes.
right?
Definitely.
Which I think kind of
Definitely.
goes into telling, representing the series, representing the
Yeah.
characters. Then I think what was also interesting to me was I went back to, so it just automatically took me back to some of the other songs that Woosung has done, or the Rose for other OSTs, and kind of found some similarities. So I listened to You Make Me Back from Itaewon Class
Yeah.
OST. I felt like his vocal style was similar. He's definitely singing in this chest register
Yes, definitely.
style, which kind of surprised me as I was going back, and I was like, I felt more like he sang he didn't sing in that chest register much at that point in his career, but I guess he did more than I actually realized.
It was there.
Yeah, it was there. It definitely was there. I went back to Wanna Be Bad from Psychopath Diary. Now, with that one, you and I can't wait till we do that song. I think we both agree. We're not necessarily favorites of Wanna Be Bad.
Do you actually want me to verbalize what I think about that track?
No, maybe we'll save it. We'll save
Yeah,
it
okay, let's save that
for
one.
that episode. But I thought that one had a same driving electric guitar. Now his vocals were different in that one. But it also took me back to Strangers from the Hell OST, which is such a fan favorite.
It's my favorite, full stop. I love that song, and that's the Tool leanings of it, though. I must admit, I love that track. Absolutely adore that track so much.
And I felt like his vocal delivery in Strangers was similar. So again, he was singing at that point like in his chest register. I have heard a lot of people just really comment on his vocal style
Mhm.
because I think like we don't know obviously when he recorded this, but um he's he's not singing in that falsetto, and I think he's not doing that. I don't know, he's called it like a trail, or when he fluctuates his voice, which is
He's
so trademark of
he's
him.
he's not doing the trill flip.
Trill,
He isn't
yeah,
doing
whatever.
that. He
Yeah.
he isn't, he's sat very comfortably in his mid-range of his chest, to be perfectly honest,
Mhm.
and there's moments in this where I'm afraid to say he bottoms out as well. I think this
Mm.
has been recorded more recently, actually.
Mm.
Just I can hear bits and pieces in his voice that you can, because it's so dry. If there was a bit more reverb in it, it would have disguised it a bit more. But because it's so dry, you can hear it there. And you could on the whatchamacallit, the collaboration that he did, and I can't remember the name of the track because it had that much of an effect on me. Moon,
Um,
yeah,
Moon Sujin,
yes, that's the one.
Tightrope.
Yeah, and I mean he was in his chest register for that one, but there was notes in that one where he was kind of bottoming out as well.
Mm.
Um, don't get me wrong, I love to hear him in his chest register. I really like that sound. I think it's a sound that suits him. And it's more suited to that type of music because
Mhm.
that music is, for want of a better term, and it's a ridiculous term to have to use, but it's more masculine. So
Yeah.
it does need that girth
Yeah.
to it. You can't go in and sing it like a choir boy. It does need that,
Yeah.
that sort of vocal action to it. But yeah, it's interesting, and he seems to have this sort of dynamic actually when he's doing OSTs that he sort of uses his deeper range. He very
I
rarely goes into
know.
falsetto with it.
I think I noticed that. Like I thought that was interesting because there's certainly other ones. Um You're My Star, and then like With You. I think those are
Yeah,
OSTs as well, that he's singing more of that falsetto, trill style. But I agree. I think um I personally, it was so nice to just hear like a rock vibe again. We
yeah, of
World
course.
was so different. We
Yeah.
haven't really had this kind of style since some of what we heard on Duel. So it was just kind of refreshing. It was like, oh wow. Like, and I think fans have
Hmm.
just like glommed onto it
Oh, they
for
have.
some of the same reasons. They're
Yeah.
just really loving this. I do love the guitar all throughout. I have to laugh because I think this turn
The
came.
guitar's beautiful. I mean, it's been done to death before, but the guitar is fantastic, and whoever's playing the guitar has done a fantastic job. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I couldn't find credit on that. I mean, I don't know if that means that it was a synth
It
guitar,
could, it
not
could,
someone
it could,
actually
it
playing it.
could be a synth guitar. It sounds a bit too warm though to be a synth guitar because sometimes it
Mm,
can clip the bottom end when you're using a synth or you're doing it through any of the actual sort of programs as such. I think it may have been recorded live, but I don't know who's actually played that. It might be the composer that's played that. I can pretty much guarantee it's not Sammy because of how it's played.
no, he would have been credited, I think, as well, on it. And
No,
as
but
we said,
just the style isn't him. The style of playing isn't him. When you're a guitarist, you have a
yeah,
fingerprint, and that's not his fingerprint.
yeah, and he doesn't tend to do a lot of the instrument playing on his solo stuff. I mean, this
No.
is obviously just a song he was given, which most
Yes,
of the
definitely. Yeah,
OSTs are,
yeah.
it's just a song he was given and he sang. He wasn't involved in any of the other aspects of it. I also love these clap synths, which I laugh because I remember during our Into the 444 Reborn when we talked about AJ's remix, this whole clap synth conversation. But I love these claps that are built into it. I just love, again, that's kind of a trope, but I don't know. I just
It's
love
a
the way that
trope, but it's a
sounds.
driving trope. It's that push pull thing.
Mhm.
It's to get you. It's get the motion. The whole thing with this entire track is it's to give you the feeling of car racing. That's the
Mm,
whole thing
yeah.
behind
Oh,
it.
yeah. Yeah.
And that's why there's the claps and everything else. That's why you've got the distortion on the
Mhm.
guitar. That's why you've got the wah in there as well. That's why all of those things are there, because it's to give you this fulfilling sensation of movement, basically, and speeding
Mhm.
movement too.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And then I couldn't help it. I just love hearing him sing in Korean after so long.
Yeah, but he's
It
got
felt like
to.
so good.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got to. This is a Korean drama that's primarily for a Korean audience, so he's got to sing it in
Yeah.
Korean. So it makes sense. It really does.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
just saying I personally enjoyed hearing this again. We haven't heard Korean from him or the Rose
yeah, for a while, and
since
and um, and I must and
yeah.
must I must admit as well. Generally speaking, when he's speaking Korean or he's singing Korean, he does tend to fall naturally more into his chest register as well. So that might be a reason that it feels like it's sat lower.
Yeah, and I think it's part of, to me, this strategy we've been talking about. I think they really are trying to gain more of a foothold with Korean listeners. And this seems like a very popular drama. So I
Yeah,
really hope that this can be an opportunity that people hear this song, they like this song, they don't know who he is or they don't know who the Rose is, and maybe for more Korean listeners this gives an opportunity of just like, exposure and a foothold
yeah,
for
possibly.
them.
Yeah, yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
All right, let's play a clip from this is the music video.
결국 살아남을 길은 있는 법 I'll be your driver Don't wanna hear you cry 어디서는 감당 못할 고통과 시련이 너를 가두고 조용할 때 I'll be your driver 기다려줘 to stay alive
All right, let's go into the lyrics. Let's kind of talk about the lyrics of the song. What's your thought on the lyrics? I'll let you start.
I think, to be perfectly honest, it's pretty much what it says on the tin. It's kind of what you'd expect it to be. I mean, the guy who's written it or the girl who's written it, they have obviously been given a sort of synopsis of what it is that they're working towards. There's
Mhm.
2 series already out there, so they've already got a generalized idea of what they're working with. So they're writing something that fits with the ethos of the story, basically. So this is just
Mhm.
storytelling, and it is literally just in its simplistic form, it's an advertisement for the series. It's a
Yeah.
jingle. It is a jingle, this song. It really is. It's just a big jingle.
Yeah, I think the song, you're right, like, it totally represents the theme of the show, and I do have the English translations, we'll have them on our website, we also have linked in this episode description, I did do a lyric video fully translating the song into English, so definitely click on that if you wanna see the full English translations. This person is talking about being a protector, and
Hmm.
I think that's, to me, the group, and particularly the main character in
Yeah,
Taxi Driver. That's what they are to these victims. They
yeah.
seek vengeance. They are out there trying to protect. I mean, yeah, he needed or she needed to tell just kind of this basic story, but I like the language that's used. I like kind of the flow of the lyrics. And then I think as I sat through and I kind of thought about it a little more, he says, "When you are confined and tightened, I'll be your driver. Please wait for me, stay alive. Even if fate stands in your way, I'll definitely find you. I will protect you until the end." It got me just kind of, I know Woosung wasn't involved in this and he didn't write the song, so it's like pure coincidence. But the whole theme of this took me back to the whole meaning of the term Black Rose,
Mm,
that to be a Black Rose or a Black Knight is to be a protector.
yeah.
And it totally like made me connect with the relationship between the Rose and their fans. protecting each other. And then I was
Yeah.
just like, oh my God, I love this song even more. Like it was just kind of perfect that he's singing it, even though he wasn't involved in any of the
Yeah.
writing. So
Yeah.
I just really loved that aspect of it. Is there anything else you want to say about the lyrics? I know you don't like it.
It's not a case that I don't like it. I've just heard it a million times. I really have heard it a
Yeah.
million times. I think
You
he's
mean you've just heard it a million times as in like
so
it's just not an original concept?
it's not an original concept at all. It's what it says on the tin. This is a soundtrack for a crime action series. I mean, it's, you know, other than playing Dragnet, I mean, it is literally what you'd expect it to be. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's well done. But if you know music and you've got a sort of understanding of different types of music and like music from the last sort of like 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you'll have heard all the tropes that are in this, that are very
Mhm.
clearly in this all the way through. I enjoy it. It's a decent song. I listened to it and I was like, yeah, good. He's back to singing rock, which is really nice. I like hearing him in his chest register. I think all of that is
Mhm.
fantastic. I don't think it's his best performance by a long shot. I can hear stuff in it where he, as I said, like earlier on, he was bottoming out. There's certain notes on this. So one of the things that's very sort of much sort of like sleaze rock and blues rock is instead of doing a trill, you're doing a slide into a note. So you'll get that sort of, you get that drop. So you'll drop into a note and then pull back up. And that you can just hear at the bottom. There's a vibrato that's not sustained. It's not quite holding there. There's not quite the strength to
Mhm.
hold it in place, which is why I'm saying to you, I think this is possibly recorded more recently than, and to be perfectly honest, OSTs, they're never finished until the series is finished. Then you do the music, and it's normally a really quick turnaround. It's normally a very, very quick turnaround. I mean, it's a good song. I enjoy it. It'll probably, I've liked it. It's on my playlist. When it comes on, I'll listen to it, but I don't think I'm going to be going out of my way to listen to it over and over again.
Yeah, I am fascinated to think about when he recorded because I would have expected after Pouzon to have gone into his treatment, not been
Well,
recording anything.
I don't
So,
necessarily, I'm not 100% sure he's actually gone and had any treatment yet, but that's a different story.
hmm, yeah. I was kind of thinking maybe he did this like in the spring, before they started like on tour, possibly. But yeah.
Possibly, possibly. I would have thought that like post production for the series was still going on during the summer. This series like this, once they've been picked up and it's a continual series, the turnaround's really quick. So they'll shoot for like 9 weeks or whatever it is, 11 weeks. They'll go into post production. Post production will be, however many weeks after that. And then like the music, overdubs and everything will come in immediately after that. And then it'll only be a month or so or 2 months before literally it's out the door and on whatever platform that it's being streamed on or shown on. So I
Mm,
think it was possibly, I might be wrong, but I'd dare to say it was more recent.
mm. Well, I love it. I've been streaming it. I can see it in my active playlist for his discography and the Rose. I think as I think about like some of the other OSTs that he's done, I feel like I kind of like this one a little bit better than some of those others. So, yeah, I've enjoyed it. Listeners, viewers, tell us what you think. Let us know what you think of just kind of his vocal style, what you think of hearing more of a rock vibe. Definitely give the lyric video a watch and let us know what you think of the song. All right, Kelly, let's wrap up with our humor segment. So, of all of the Rose members, who do you think could live a week without the internet?
Well, that's easy. It'd be Woosung because he doesn't exist on the internet.
See, you say that, and I just disagree because I think you need the internet to play Pokemon Go
Yeah, but
and to play Overwatch.
is he playing Pokemon Go, or do the characters from Pokemon Go just appear in front of him?
I think he's playing. He keeps up perfect stats. So I think he's
Obviously.
playing. So while he doesn't go on Instagram or the Rosarium, he's definitely playing his video games, which he needs the internet for. So
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know then. Who do we think could really? So Dojun, do you need the internet to run all of your little production?
To be perfectly honest, with the amount of updates that that Logic and everything do, yes, you need the internet because literally the damn thing updates like weekly.
So
Yeah,
he
you do
needs the
need it.
internet too.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he would be my other one. Because I feel like what he does in his spare time is just like making music. We know that Taegyum needs the internet because we know from photosynthesis he had the highest screen time on his phone.
Yes, that's true. We know he's a gamer as well.
Yeah, and he's a gamer.
He's a gamer too.
So that leaves Hajun.
Are we saying Hajuni is the one that might just break out and sort of experience the world away from a screen?
He goes on dog park dates and doggy dates with Bella.
This is very, very true. He does seem to live a healthier lifestyle.
I know. He's such a mystery. He seems like very, very private. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what other habits he has that I know of that maybe he'd have to use the internet for.
Well, I mean, there are a few, but we probably best not mentioning those, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, he's an avid music listener, but
that's true.
Nowadays, I mean, unless he has vinyl. Yeah. But I think he could live without it for a week.
Possibly.
But it's like, could Woosung live without his video games for a week? Could Dojun live without his music production for a week? Could Taegyum live without whatever he watches on YouTube for a week?
I've literally got visions of Tay literally just watching sort of like DIY stuff.
I know. What do we think his like algorithm on YouTube is?
Weird, I should imagine. I've got a feeling it's quite weird.
I know. What would he watch? I wonder. Maybe acting lesson videos, acting masterclass.
Possibly. I don't know. I just like the idea of him doing like DIY and gardening stuff.
I know, like something like that.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Like this is like random BTS content fact, but there was this one piece of content where Yoongi admitted that all he watches on YouTube are cute cat videos. And it was like hysterical, the thought of him just like searching for cute cat videos and just watching one after another. Maybe Taegyum's like that.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe it's like cute puppy videos or something like that he watches.
I love the idea of that. That'd be great.
Do we think K-Rock Cast comes up in his algorithm? That's hysterical.
So this is the weird thing, and I sent you this earlier on, and this freaked me the hell out. I did an AI search for something, which I mean I hate, but I had to check something, and we came up on the AI search for it. It was just like, oh dear God, this is just a bit weird. Now. We do. It's a bit weird. I don't know how I can. Yeah, my brain can't quite.
No, maybe Taegyum. Maybe we're coming up in his algorithm as he's on there watching all his little YouTube videos.
Maybe that's the reason that CM Blue had got such a high viewership. This is watching it over and over again on loop.
Watching it over and over and over again. Oh man. Okay, so are we going Hajun? I think I'm gonna go Hajun after this breakdown.
Yeah, let's go Hajuni.
I think he can spend a week just hanging out with Bella and touching grass.
I hate the term touching grass. So
He went on his doggy dates to the doggy cafe.
Yeah, I think so as well.
So cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're going to go Hajun. All right, listeners and viewers, tell us what you think of all the Rose members. Who can live a week? Who can survive without the internet? Could you survive without the internet, Kelly, for a week?
Yes. Yes.
I couldn't. I don't think I could.
If I was doing something, I mean, come on, you know that I like to escape to the wilderness every now and again, so
You
yeah.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Could you
You
do
know,
that for a week, though? Like a
yeah.
day, but a week?
Depends who I was with.
I need to be like laying out on a beach and be somewhere like that for a week with no internet. I couldn't just be stuck in my house doing my
The
day-to-day
idea
life.
of just laying on a beach and doing nothing, I'm like, my brain's like, I can't do that. I'm not one of those people. I go somewhere, I want to see shit. I want to experience stuff. No, I can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I could live without the internet for a week. I'll be honest.
There's something kind of nice about every now and again just turning off. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. But for a week? Whew.
Yeah.
That would be tough for me. All right. Well, tell us what you think, listeners. Who can live without the internet for a week? We can't wait to hear your thoughts. Rate our podcast. Leave us comments about this episode. Tell us what you think about Woosung's new song, Driver. We love to hear your feedback. As always, follow us across social media on Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. We are at KROK_cast all across the board.
Click here to subscribe.
Join us on Patreon. As a Patreon member, you get great benefits, exclusive content full of bloopers, virtual hangout invites, and discounts on future K-Rock Cast merchandise. Email us at krock.cast@gmail.com. Check out our website. Again, our English translations of the Roses song, including this song, are available on our website, krockcast.com. All right. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, this is Juju Be Good. You're watching and listening to K-Rock Cast. Check out their podcast and K-Rock Recommends for my music and other great independent artists.